PMD riders, delivery riders, speeding on the road, and worse, breaching traffic regulations, beat the red lights. It is very dangerous. And it does no good for our movement that we want the government to uplift the ban. Because it gives a very bad name for PMD riders. So for all of you out here who have come, and for those who are watching the videos, my urge to you, be a responsible user. Be a considerate user, because you are sharing resources in this small little tiny island. Say please, excuse me, thank you, have a good day. It doesn't cost anything, words, but it helps your cause. Let people empathize with you. Understand that you are not really troublemakers. You just want to earn your living or make convenience out of PMD. So please, for the PMD users, if you want to gain the understanding of the 3 million voters out there, the empathy, the understanding why you are using it, right? And eventually sympathize with your use, your situation, and go back to the ministers, the MPs, the PMDs, and tell them, look, we are okay to uplift the ban, but do something about it. This I will touch on later, how to deal with the PMD issues, which the PAP government has actually neglected for the past 6 years. This PMD thing is not new. They have been here for the past 6 years. But the new generation of ministers, they do not know how to deal with new technology, new technological products that is actually potentially very, very beneficial to all of us as a society, or list out the benefits. Now, the main reason I came out, ultimately, is when I saw a lot of PMD riders, delivery riders went to MPS to show their concern. And I happen to know about most of them are from what we call socially disadvantaged and socially underprivileged people who need this job for whatever reasons. It might be family reasons, they have elderly to take care of at home, they cannot work too far away from the family. Or they have children at home, they have to take care of. They must work within the parameters of their home housing estate. Or they have medical, physical conditions that they cannot find a proper jobs. Right? There are many reasons. And I can tell you, I come from a very poor family. I think even poorer than most of the PMD riders here. 10 of us squeezed in a 1-bedroom rental flat in Toa Payoh. And I was an illegal street hawker at the age of 5 until 12. And I understand what is hardship, hunger, and the anxiety that comes with it when you start to lose your job, the means of earning your dough. And I say, heck it, forget about the political calculations. If anybody down here or the PAP ministers try to say that I'm trying to score a political point, they must be stupid. I'm not stupid. I will not get any political points. But spare a thought. These are your fellow Singaporeans. Many of them are being phased out of the job market because of the liberal labor law we have. The foreigners are in. Many of them cannot find suitable jobs to cope with their conditions. But food delivery services suits their needs. Free timing, own time, own target. liberal conditions, they can always go back to take care of their family. They can always go back to take care of family, especially we are aging population. I have a mother who has dementia. I believe many of you have it. You have to take care of the family. They cannot take up full-time job. And this food delivery, with the help of this PMD, actually provides them a very good income, a very low-level skill barrier, which they can come in and earn $2,000, $3,000. And I can tell you, I did a rough calculation for 7,000 people by using PMD to do food delivery. The amount of money involved in this industry is at least $250 million per year. This is what I call dollar and cents to the economy. And it's not just about these dollar and cents. If you compare 250 million to the 500 billions of the dollars of GDP we have each year, it's actually peanuts. But look at it the other way. Will PMD government willing to come up with $250 billion to give all these people to solve the social problems of not finding jobs? Were they? No, definitely no. So it's part of a puzzle, part of reason, solutions, technology solution to solve a certain social problems. Minimize our social problems, minimize our social needs as a country. And this is another dimension of the PMD, a new technology that brings benefits to our society. Right? The second thing, I got a lot of feedback from a lot of people for the young family with kids. The parents, the mothers wrote to me, he says that we cannot afford cars. We cannot even afford domestic helpers, the maids, right? We have to take care of the young children. And the school bus is too expensive. And what do you want them to do? PMD provides a very cheap means of transport for them to bring their kids to school and back to school. These are middle lower income group. We are struggling with their families. And on top of that, off the school hours, they can do part-time as a food delivery. And that's how they earn the money to help the family to go on. And this was what my mother did as a street hawker, illegal street hawker. That's why my father had a taxi driver license. But it's not enough, there's 10 of us. So the wife, like my mother, will try to earn a second income. That's how we survive. And I empathize with these middle low income people. That's how they survive. They cannot afford even a motorcycle. Because you have COE, you have parking fees, you have ERP. Right? But PMD gives them the means to take care of their children as well as their income. This is another aspect of a social benefits of a PMD. So before, this is my words to all the Singaporeans out there who are not using the PMDs. Before you deride the PMD riders, before you agree to the ban, think. I don't expect everybody to have that type of empathy because you do not know hardship. But think. A new technology, a cheap alternative that can bring so much benefits to the middle and lower income, which ultimately solve a lot of social problems of the society. Or else, as a taxpayer, you are going to pay more tax to take care of these people. Do you want that? So, after the frustrations, I say, heck it. Political cause or not, I stood up. There are only two issues when I went into the dialogue. First, the ban is not justifiable. Why? Because you do not just ban problems. You must look at the costs and benefits of a new technology as a government. I'm politicizing it. I have no regrets of politicizing it. Right? Say what you want. As a minister, you are supposed to do a cost-benefit analysis. What are the benefits to the society? What are the costs? Cost is actually safety on the footpath. Granted, but can that be mitigated? Yes, it can. Many people, not me, many people actually give me the solutions. Just build more PMD path for them to use. You separate the pedestrian and the PMD and that solve the problem, isn't it? Why isn't the PMP government not doing that? They are spending billions and billions of jewels, Terminal 5, Tuas, Megaport, but they cannot spend just a few millions on the path. I cannot understand. It's a political will and the vision that you have for Singapore. They keep talking about car light. Right? Want to cut down the usage of cars, public transport, the cars. But they are not doing anything. They are not investing in the infrastructure. And PMD, I can tell you, it will get more popular. Because if you can see, the size is very small. It's easy to control. You do not need much steel. Right? And that is where I'm coming from. It's not justified for them to ban the PMDs just because there are accidents. And I can't tell you, I agree, most of the time the accidents occur because of some inconsiderate users. They are not trained to use the PMDs. Not properly trained. Sometimes it's the pedestrian fault because they walk, they look at their smartphone. They don't pay attention to the roads. But who is more responsible? They're the most responsible. The government. Because they did not regulate. They did not set the rules. They did not license the riders. Send them for course, just like drivers who take a rider license. Pass a theory test as well as the practical. They did not build the path. And that is their responsibility. They are shining away. Now, the second thing I want to bring up during the dialogue was that they claim that there's a solution for the delivery riders. Give $7 million for them to switch to e-bikes. I can tell you, there's the grant of death. The grant of death. Why? Motorcyclists are licensed cyclists, drivers. They went through the highway court, they took the practical test for probation for 2 years. But yet, in Singapore roads, the fatal accidents for motorcyclists is still very high. And the e-bike is actually a mini motorcycle. You are giving people who have not taken the highway code, who have not taken a rider test, to have an e-bike to run on the roads. I am also scared as a driver, I tell you. It is totally irresponsible for the minister for the ministry to do that. Totally irresponsible. Right. I have some proposals, a very comprehensive proposals. Anyone can think about it. I'm not claiming that it's perfect or something great, but this is a normal perm set can do it. The first thing of all, we need to treat all motorized devices who are used on the path, footpath, or the roads as a mini vehicle. And you must pass the law in Parliament to regulate the import and the sales of these vehicles. This is step number one. There's no two way about it. What they are doing is, oh, 头痛医头，脚痛医脚. Oh, got problem there, I go and license this, and then I license that. No, that's not the way. You have to start from the right, from the parliament. Legislative. Make the law. Secondly, you make all the users, riders, who want to buy any PMD devices or any motorized devices, to take a highway code specially for that. Not the driver highway code. You have to reconstruct a highway code for these riders. Paper test as well as the rider test. It's just like drivers driving, but it's just to teach people how to maneuver with the devices and be considerate on the road or on the pathway. That's number two. Anyone who want to buy a PMD have to have the license. This is number two. Number three, the training course can be done by the food delivery company as well as LTA. Because food delivery companies, they are the stakeholders. They need these people to work for them as well. Instead of asking them to come up with $3.5 million to subsidize a grant of death, do this. Get them licensed, get them trained, get them take the test. If they fail, no. Right? Number four, it's just like the drivers like us, we have demerit points. Set a demerit point system for each rider. If they keep speeding, ban them from using. I have no regrets for banning people who are inconsiderate users, right? Because you give a very bad name for PMD riders. Number five, when to use the PMD, when it is on sales, there must be a device that indicates the speed. How many speed? 4 kinds of speed. I will explain why the speed limits are done that way. Now, one of the reasons why accident happens during on the pathway is because of different speed of different users. It's a conflicting speed. PMD can go 10 kilometers per hour, but we walk 2 kilometers per hour, 3 kilometers per hour. So there's a differential. When you have a great differential, you should have crashed. That's the reason why accident happens. That's a risk management. So I suggest for the normal pathway, we will set the speed limit to 8 kilometers per hour. Why 8 kilometers per hour? It's a jogger speed. When you jog, you allow joggers on the pathway, right? You jog, it's about 8 kilometers per hour max. You set the speed for the PMD. It's no different from a jogger while on the pathway. Right? For certain pathway, like estates with a lot of elders, which we call the silver zone. There are quite a number of silver zones in Singapore. You limit the speed to 5 kilometers per hour. Lower than now. For school zone, you also lower than 5 kilometers per hour. And places that are very crowded, near shopping center, near public transport hub, MRT or bus terminal, you lower it to 5 kilometers per hour. That is a very systematic way of dealing with the problem. To reduce speed, this is what we call the risk management perspective. Can't the $1 million minister think of it? I don't know, Right now, I really don't know whether they are worth their salt of $1 million pay. But this is the way actually we regulate the users. And due to this 4 speed, another 2 speeds, 15 kilometers per hour, 20 kilometers per hour. Why? For the PCM, the park connectors, as well as cyclists, you can go faster, but not faster than 20 kilometers per hour. Because if you go faster than 20 kilometers per hour, you are actually a killer projectile, potentially a killing projectile. You zoom, you hit anybody, that person will die. Because of the weight. Force equals the mass of velocity. Because of mass and the velocity, you can kill people with that speed. Anything above 20. So this is how we actually manage a problem, right? Not just ban it. That is a lousy, easiest way out. A gundu can do it. Why should we pay $1 million for a gundu to do it, right? Now, the last important thing, the government must have the political will to invest in the infrastructure. They claim that they have how many kilometers of a cyclist path built and all that. I don't see it. I don't see it in Ang Mo Kio. I don't see it. In fact, someone from Tampines told me that they actually take away the cyclist path instead of building more. Even the new towns, they don't have a cycling path. Or the PNC, they don't have the collectors. PCN, they don't have the collectors. Ultimately, the government must sit down and decide. This is the question I have been asking the ministers. Do you or do you not think that the new technological devices like this are beneficial to a nation like us, a city-state? If you say no, make it clear, ban everything. Don't ask people to go and upgrade this PMD to this standard and spend money after that you ban them. That's not fair. That's actually a very lousy policy makers. If you think it's beneficial, sit down, think through what I have said. A very comprehensive approach to solve the problem. Manage the risk, not what Lam Pin Min says. Can you have an ideal situation at 100% no accident? No! I told him no. Even with drivers who are properly trained with highway code driving tests, they still have accidents on the road. Do you ban the cars? No, of course not. Right? But we manage the risk. That is a responsible government should do. Not just ban. Because a lot of rice bowl is at stake. A lot of livelihood is at stake. My last point, I hope the PMD riders down here, you don't go and upgrade, take the gun and upgrade to the e-bikes. E-bikes are very, very dangerous. Even as a driver on the road, I have a few near hits of an e-bike. It's not their fault, it's not my fault. Because there are a lot of blind spots. You see the bushes down here? With these bushes down here, with that height, you can't even see the e-bike when you try to make a turn. You zoom past, you hit, that's all. Bye-bye. And besides, someone was telling me that e-bikes cost more than $1,000. Dr. Lam Pin Min was saying that you do not need to come up with money, and that's wrong. It costs more than $1,000. $1,000 done is not enough. It costs more than $1,000 to $2,000. And you have to come up with the money first before you make the claim to the food delivery rider companies. We will try to sit down and talk to the Ministry of Transport. Look, we understand the concern of safety, but the safety of the delivery drivers also is safety, right? You cannot just push them to the road. That's exactly what Dr. Lam Pin Min have said in August. So why are you doing it now? I hope everybody will support our movement because there are plans to set up a PMD association. Later, I think Andrew will touch on it. We'll set up an association and we try to come up with a self-help plan. We'll propose to the government. There are some people who can take alternative jobs. Yes, we will help them to get another job. But there are many people who cannot afford to because want to take care of mother, father, want to take care of children, medical condition, physical condition. There are so many issues that we cannot cover everything. And we do believe the PMD is good for the society as a whole in the long term. And LTA or the Ministry of Transport have to solve it. I don't have the power to solve it. We don't have the power to solve it. Only the minister has the power to solve it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Goh. Alright, so Sarah wants to deliver a speech, but she has a little bit of stage fright. So she already prepared for me her speech, so I will deliver it out to you. Okay, so with the band, she suggests that we should start by educating pedestrians on proper paths that they should use, as well as how to walk straight. Because honestly, they just walk left, right, and everywhere. Okay? Okay, why can't we Singaporeans just share? Say excuse me and thank you. When you are taking over a pedestrian, why can't you just say sorry, excuse me? When you take over a pedestrian, why can't you just say thank you? Same as the pedestrians. Why do you get so angry when we take over you? We didn't hit you. We didn't do anything wrong. Huh? Okay? So Bani taught me these basic values when I was 5. Also, no one should be entitled to physically or emotionally bully anyone. Riding a PMD has suddenly started to be seen as a crime. I wonder why. Fix it. Do not permit the actions and word of one to harm another. For now, it is only simple pushing, videography and photography. We have seen a lot of our riders out there. They didn't do anything wrong. They followed the speed limit on the path. This is just an advisory period. They still have to earn money. And what are the pedestrians doing? They are taking our videos, posting them online, spreading hate. Is this a right thing to do? No. Guys, is this the right thing to do? No. Okay. So, please, we don't want this to escalate. Okay, parents should also look out for their own children. Hold their hand or let them walk in front of you, so you are able to monitor their safety. Parents also use these mobility devices to send their children to and from school. Money is hard to come by nowadays. How many of you agree with me? It is so hard right now for us to earn an honest living. How many of you have a lot of bills to pay and only have a few $100 left, but that is for your food, for your families? You don't even have the luxury of going on holidays. Where's the furthest you can go? JB? Batam? Correct or not? Correct or not? Everyone? Okay, so I need you to try to imagine how much everyone is saving on transportation expenses because of these mobility devices. I've heard whispers of riding PMDs on the road and highly recommend that the government lift the ban that has been placed on the path before everyone starts riding on the road. Think of the children. So many more will fall victim and die. I know a man who sent his 2 daughters to school, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. This is the only quality time he can spend with his daughters as he works the night shift. How can that be taken away from a family? Also, walking paths should be split in 2. This will not be as costly as building more paths. All that is needed is a painted line. Pedestrians should be designated the innermost walking path so as to avoid being sandwiched between traffic and the PMDs. I also suggest deploying more LTA officers. Reason for this being our utmost concern currently regarding the scooters' compliancy with LTA regulation. The recent case in Bedok, Chai Chee Street, where a lady passed away due to a scooter accident, was the PMD rider's fault as he was speeding at 50 kilometers per hour, and the scooter was past the designated weight limit. Therefore, instead of compensating us with money to trade in our scooters, use this to hire LTA officers and equip them with PMDs. Roads are out of the question. Riding on the roads have already proven dangerous. Upon request, all riders have just recently changed their mobility devices to comply with the UL 2272 regulation. That was just said, and I must say we did it without much trouble. However, after making us change it a few months later, it is being banned. This is disregard for pure innocent faith and trust. Complete betrayal after we portrayed such leniency. There are some riders that have gone for the installment scheme for the PMD. $500 down payment with an installment plan of $165 every month for 8 months. How are they going to pay for these installments when they cannot earn? Are we supposed to pay the installment for something that has been restricted for use? The $100 compensation will not even cover a fraction of the cost. Also, would it not be more hazardous to have electric bicycles on the pavements instead? They are bigger and wider due to the pedals. The delivery riders are the ones that are really going to suffer from this ban. All the families that will go through hardship, unable to pay the bills, worst case eviction, or no money to give their children for pocket money for school. Also, there are many of us and not that many job vacancies. Imagine the number of jobless that is going to need financial assistance from the government. The money riders earn from food deliveries will not amount to what that can be made at an average job. Think of some of the older generation that could not afford education or had to drop out of school to support broken families. The ex-convicts who cannot get a decent job anywhere else, or those that need to support family of 3 generations. I mean, Singapore did come up with 3 gen thing, remember? This ban is going to take everything away from those with little to accommodate those with more. That is not how you play Robin Hood. Singapore currently houses a population of 5.6 million people, so that it is the amount of people that is going to have to wait 1.5 hours for food delivery again. Remember that. It will not come to 20 minutes anymore. Self-sabotage is not a good look in Singapore. Once e-scooters are off the roads, more motorcycles will have to compensate for the high demand of food delivery orders that is going to be banging on the door. Increase in petrol, increase in global warming. Not many have noticed, but we at least put a dent in that when we bought the scooter. This is humanity's way of advancing. Why stop progress? The e-scooter riders have single-handedly reduced the amount of holes in the sky. So here is our suggestion. An age limit should be set. Metal license plates back and front of the scooters. For those scooters, it will be ideal if scooter shop who only sell it when LTA has approved the scooters. LTA should work closely with the main source, being the scooter shop. Set a demerit system for redundant riders, as well as a drive test exam that must be passed in order to be fully registered. E-scooters have revolutionized our jobs, the way we commute, and basically in our whole everyday lives. Singapore do not take one step forward in the world just to take another 3 steps back. We are progressing towards a smart economy. So why are we banning smart devices, such as our mobility devices? Thank you.
My name is Tan Kin Lian. Goh Meng Seng asked me to say a few words. Now I want to give you some good news. The rain has stopped. So can I ask all of you please to come and take a seat? We need everybody to be closer to the front. Is that all right? So please come forward and fill up the seats over here. And those at the back, please come forward. I think you can't hear me, so I'm going to repeat. Please come forward and take a seat in the front. Okay, I'm not sure whether you can hear me, so I'm going to give you a test. When I say hello, you reply with hi. Okay? Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
When I say hi, you reply with hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. My name is Tan Kin Lian, and I want to say a few words about this bank. I am not a PMD rider, but today I want to stand united with PMD riders and speak against the ban on the use of PMD on our footpath. Okay or not? The ban was hasty. It was not the right decision. It was a bad decision. Agree or not? I can't hear.
Yes.
The government has banned the use of PMD on footpath with immediate effect. This has affected two groups of users. The first group are the food delivery riders who need PMD for their work. The ban has affected their livelihood. The second group are people who need PMD to get to the bus stop, MRT station, or their place of work. And I also hear parents use PMD to transport their children to school. How many people are affected by this ban? There was a news report that 75,000 owners have registered their e-scooter and paid a registration fee of $20. So it's 750,000. Many of them upgraded to the LU2272 compliant e-scooter, and that costs between $300 to $700. And I hear just now from the previous speaker that many of these scooters were bought on installment. So a lot of money was involved. So many owners are badly affected by the ban. Agree or not?
Yeah.
Hello, agree or not?
Yeah.
Now, it is unfortunate that the government imposed the ban suddenly without considering the negative impact on large numbers of people who are affected. How many people are affected? More than 100,000. If the government had imposed a ban in the first place, these people would not have spent money to buy the e-scooter, and now they have problem paying their installment. Now we do know that the problem are caused by errant riders who use the PMD at high speed on footpath. This has caused a few accidents and injuries to pedestrians and in some cases to the riders themselves. We also know that many people have called for measures to keep the footpath safe. So the government responded to this call by imposing a ban. Was that the correct decision? Correct or not?
No.
Now let me make a few points and we look at this issue from the perspective of the riders and the pedestrians. My first point is the PMD is a useful device. The two earlier speakers says it is technology, innovation, very useful for today's use. The PMD is small, it is light, and if it is used at a slow speed, it will not cause many accidents. And even if there is accident, the harm will be not serious. So the most important is the PMD must be used at slow speed, not high speed. That's the most important. It is useful to use the mobility device for food delivery. We must not overlook the benefit of food delivery in giving a livelihood for the delivery riders. Several thousand of them, estimated 7,000 people, earn a livelihood from delivering food. We must also think about the customer who has to stay at home to look after children and have the food delivered to their homes. So food delivery not only provide livelihood for the delivery riders, it also provide a benefit to the customers who need the food delivered to their home. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So we should find a way for the PMD to be used on footpath without causing harm to pedestrians. What can be done? Earlier this month, I was in Taipei, Taiwan. I stayed 3 days in a mountain resort called Wulai. The roads in that resort were narrow and the roads were shared by cars, motorcycles, and pedestrians. They were so narrow that when two cars need to pass one another, one car must stop at the side so that the car from the opposite direction can get by. So they are able to share the road by the car users, the motorcyclists, and the pedestrians. I was on the road taking a video with my mobile phone. Beautiful scenery. And then I heard a roar behind me. And then I heard a horn. And a motorcyclist passed me at a very slow speed. And because the motorcycle was having a roar, motorcycle engine roar. I could hear it, and it was traveling at a slow speed. So I suggest that our PMD e-scooter should have a buzzer, so it makes noise, so that when the rider is using the scooter, it should give some noise, so that pedestrians are aware. I also suggest if the speed goes beyond the limit, it should give a loud noise, like a siren, so that the rider themselves become aware that they are exceeding the speed limit. So we can make our path safe if we install this buzzer in all the PMDs, the e-scooters. And we should make this mandatory. And we should make the PMD rider responsible to make sure when they are using the e-scooter that it has a noise to alert pedestrians and that it has a louder noise when they exceed the speed limit. For wide footpath, we should mark two separate paths. This was suggested by the earlier speaker for riders and pedestrians. For narrow path, narrow footpath, we can widen it by removing the grass birch. When I was in Taipei City, and this is in the city itself, I saw their footpath quite wide, and it is used not only for pedestrians, but it's also for cyclists. And the same footpath, they also plant trees and lampposts, but no need to have grass. So they got trees, they got lampposts, it's wide enough for both cyclists and pedestrians. So we can also widen our walkways, footpath to be used by pedestrians and PMD riders. I also like to suggest that in the HDB and private estates, the side roads, we should limit the speed limit for cars. I've been to other countries and I saw in the small roads, the cars move very slowly. Maybe the speed limit is 20 or 25 kilometers per hour. So if our HDB estate, the side roads, not the main road, but the side roads, and the private housing estate, the side roads, if a speed limit is kept 20 kilometers per hour, it should be possible for the road to be used by e-scooters. And it should be quite safe. So we should therefore look for ways to make it possible for the food delivery people to make a living, to do a good job to serve the community, and also to make it possible for our footpath and the roads to be safe. Let me address the issue of the errant riders, the irresponsible people who use the PMD at a fast speed. Now, I have seen many food delivery people. I see them because they wear the jacket of the food delivery platform, mostly green, like me today, I wear green. And they also carry a bag. And all the time I met them, they were quite responsible. They were moving at a slow speed. So don't think that all the delivery riders are reckless people. Most of them are quite responsible. They also want to take care of their own safety. But I'm sure there are a few who speed, go beyond the safe limit. Why should these irresponsible people cause problem for the other people who are responsible? So I think I want to call on the government, take action against the irresponsible riders, but do not break the rice bowl of the other people. Do you agree?
Yes.
I suggest that the irresponsible riders who are caught and convicted should be banned. So they should not be allowed to use. But all the other people should continue to use the footpath, but do it safely, within a safe limit. I want to address another problem, and this is the food delivery platform. The Grab Food, the Panda, and the Deliveroo. These platforms now give very attractive incentive for delivery people to meet very high number of deliveries. And because of this incentive, some delivery people speed because they want to do many deliveries to earn the incentive. Now this is bad. So I call on the food delivery platform, provide incentive, but don't go too far. You should know what is the limit for a person to deliver, how many deliveries a day without overspeeding, causing problem. So the food delivery platform should moderate their incentive. Yes, you want to give incentive to encourage people to make more deliveries, but don't go beyond the limit. So the food delivery platform should also play their part. I call on the government to review the ban and find other ways to ensure the safety of our footpath without affecting the PMD riders who need to make a living and other users who need to use the PMD to get to their place of work or to bring their children to school. But I also call on the PMD riders to cooperate, to keep the speed limit, to observe the safety limit, so that our footpaths are safe for children, for senior citizens. So I need to call on the PMD riders, act responsibly, make our footpaths safe, share the footpath, as the example I gave in Taiwan. Many people can share the use of this limited facility and be considerate. So if we can have our footpath safe, there is no reason for the government to ban PMDs on the footpath. Okay or not?
Okay.
Hello, okay or not?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Terima kasih, 谢谢, Nandri.
Okay, everyone, we'll be going for a 20 minutes break. After this, we will gather back here for a Q&A session. Okay, Mr. Goh has got something to say. Hold on, yeah.
I'm sorry I have to do this because we are shortage of speakers, not drivers. It's not easy for the PMD riders to organize something like this because they are the underprivileged people. They are socially disadvantaged people. They are afraid. They are very afraid of standing up for themselves, even when their rights are being affected. That's why you don't see many people down here. There are 7,000 of them out there. Most of them, they are busy doing their dues, delivering foods to earn their money. So, nevertheless, we are here, and I try to urge LTA to actually work with them, or even me, to solve this problem. There are a lot of smart people. They are not stupid people. They know the problems. They are every day on the road, every day on the path. They know exactly what are the problems. Even some of them actually wrote to me. I'm going to read some of them, right, on how they think it can be solved and why they need the PMDs. This is from the mother, right? It says that the cost is cheaper than the car. That's what I see, right? That's number one. Number two, compared to motorcycle, right? PMDs, some of the PMDs can actually carry 2 kids, but motorcycle can't, right? And I actually asked her, really, I can carry 2 kids, can you show me around? She really posted a picture to me. Some PMD can actually carry 2 kids, right? And public transport during peak hours, just not as a good option to accommodate parents using strollers. That's a concern. These peak times are a consolidation from a group of mothers who are using PMDs to carry their babies or the kids around. These are real cases. I'm not one. You can see from my Facebook, they are private message me, right? And the queue to sending kids via road vehicles is too long. That means school bus, or you go by car, it's very long the queue. Normally you go to school, you know it lines up. The whole street are jammed, right? And parents will not speak and endanger our kids' life as well as other kids. So are they the one who are responsible for all the accident? Of course not. But why are they being penalized? That's what she is saying. No? And of course, they also know that they cannot switch to PAD. PAD is e-bikes, electric bikes, due to safety concerns. It's very, very dangerous. Very much dangerous than PADs. Right? And number 7, putting many of us in debt because many of us took the installment plan. And now it becomes a white elephant at home. Number 8, we agree that this PMD is the most cost-effective and convenient option in the long run compared to using other transportation devices. This is from a group of a few hundred mothers who are using PMDs. Right? For some of the location to school has long distance to walk. And we need to reach our workplace in the right time also for workplace. And the number 10 is actually very touching. I am a father, although my daughter is already 16 years old. Right? She said, riding together with our kids, be it to school, run errands, or recreational, has bonded us close together as a family with the kids. These are the intangible social benefits that nobody ever think of. That's why when I read this, it's very touching. Parents who really bothers about bonding with their kids, and PMD is one way, riding with them. Right? And we educate our kids how to be aware of their surrounding and our other footpath users, and be a better pedestrian when they're riding. Another good point. When you ride with your kids, you educate them right from young. Be considerate to other users. It is a shared space among all of us. 5.7 million, right? We are going to 6.9. And later 10 million people. These are the things that we need to cultivate from young. And not something that you can do by just banning anything that is inconvenient in the short run. Right? And for constructive thoughts, she wrote, extensive education outreach to stakeholders. Stakeholders means pedestrian as well. Please don't look at the smartphone when you walk. Right? You are going to crash into a PMD, a person, or a lamppost. Right? We are too used to our smartphone. Right? Can we riders assist to identify which footpath available with at least 2 meters to be converted to shared paths immediately? They are willing to work with the authorities, the LTA, a down-up effect effort to say that why not we work with the LTA and we try to identify within our precinct which are the paths is big enough actually to draw out a separate path for the PMD. I like this person because she's not making us against them. It is not about the PMD riders against LTA. It is not about the PMD's riders against other Singaporeans who are against it. They want to work with the authorities. They are not confrontational. So am I. I may speak very loud during the dialogue and shout a bit because I don't have a mic. But please don't mistake that I'm rude. Right? Because it's my passion to see that people see the point. That you are actually affecting a lot of other people who are not guilty, innocent parties of their rice bowl, of their livelihood, just by one single word, ban illegal effect. That is not the right way of governance. And I always remember Lee Hsien Loong actually copied a catchphrase from me during the 2006 election. I said, I shall not leave anyone behind. My speech was, leave no one behind. And apparently Lee Hsien Loong actually agrees with me. In one of his speeches, I think, National Day speeches, he said, leave no one behind. No man behind. But now you are doing something which is leave 7,000 people's rice bowl. Break their rice bowl, you are leaving them behind. And it's ironic that he's saying that, oh, please trust us, PAP, we have not changed. No, Mr. Lee, you have changed. Your party under your father tries to solve problems unless there's no benefits from the issue. But not you. Your new generation of ministers, sorry to say that, cannot make it. Now, this feedback also starts to say that all riders should go through a test, written test as well as practical test. That's what I think also. It's not a genius set of answers to come out with. I believe the top scholars in the LTA can think about it. Why did not they implement it? Because there will be a lot of administration work. There will be a lot of trouble. There will be a lot of money spent in it. But I ask again the fundamental question. Do you believe PMD is good for our society or not? That is fundamental. If you believe it is good, just like when they built the first MRT's line, the North-South line, whether it's $6 billion, $8 billion, how can I say, yes, we are going to build it, although it costs a lot of money. But he believes that it's good for us as a nation in the long term. That is the way that you do a cost and benefit analysis, and not taking an easier way out. Now, I am not mistaken that some PMDs people actually say Goh Meng Seng is a shit stirrer. I have no regrets to be a shit stirrer, but there must be a shit for me to stir. And who are the sheep?
Yeah.
It's the road policies that are the sheep. If I don't stir it, nobody will buy or give a thought about it. Every Singaporean will take a very simplistic view on the ban. Yeah, no good. Always ban into this PMD. Of course, ban lah. But they didn't think whether the government have a part in it. Is it because of the government inaction of regulating and thinking of formula and strategy to deal with new technology that caused all the trouble? They never think about that. They just see people ban other people, or these people must be wrong. But they didn't know it's because of a lack of infrastructure. So we have to win this battle only by convincing the silent majority, so-called. The silent majority. I always tell the PMD riders and the delivery riders, we can only win this battle. First, convince Singaporeans at large that this is not a simple issue that you can just ban away. There are benefits to our society. There are benefits for our underprivileged people to make a decent living with dignity. And you know why I shouted that night? Talking about dignity. I went to Hong Lim MPS. I was talking with a group of 30 delivery riders, Grab riders mostly. And he said, oh, we know your concern, I hear you. Oh, anyone need any help can come to me in the MPS. You know, as a person who have lived off the street, that's what I say, I've gone through the hardship. Never have I begged anyone for any dollar. Not from the government. And that is dignity. We may play Tom and Jerry with the enforcement because Cao Dei Gu lah, right? But never have we as family begged for anything. And now you are taking out off the fishing rope from these people and ask them, oh, do you need fish from me? And that is what made me very angry. Extremely angry. It's an insult. They might be underprivileged, socially disadvantaged. But as far as I'm concerned, I see them work very hard. And they have the dignity to earn their own living. Instead of saying, oh, I cannot find job. So I go to MPS every time, I take $50 from the MP. No, they didn't. So why could you want to further demoralize these people? To insult them, to take away their dignity, asking such questions. And the most insulting part comes to NTUC. Oh, we can give $200 to those who need it. No, we don't. I don't think you want, right? You want to earn the only me, right? It adds itself to the whole situation. So please don't do it. I beg NTUC, don't ever do it again. Not the MPs, not the ministers. You think that you are trying to help them. No, you are insulting them. And because people up there who have a good life have not tasted hunger, thought that $200 is a big thing to these people. It's not about the money. Who wants to be a beggar if they can earn their own dough? Even a one-legged person can do deliveries. But you are now making him losing 70% of the orders because he cannot make it. Even a one-legged man has such dignity. So I beg you, the only time I beg KP is to listen. Don't be arrogant. It's okay to make mistakes. We make mistakes all our lives. But the most important thing is you must learn from your mistake, reflect about it, and make amends to the mistake. It's okay to do a U-turn again, you know. Oh, I won't laugh at you. Right? We won't laugh at you. But if you are doing a U-turn to say that yes, we have made a mistake, we have not taken into much more consideration of other aspects, and we are reviewing the system and trying to come up with a better regulation, better system, ecosystem, or even work with them, work with me to come up with a win-win situation. Fine, I give you a clap. Right, will you give them a clap and then do that? Be reasonable. And don't just brush aside everything to say, oh, Goh Meng Seng is trying to politicize the thing, stop emotions, and all that. No. There is no political points to be made from this issue. I'm losing a lot of friends because of that. Because a lot of opposition supporters also support the ban. They cannot see the issue in clarity. As I say, heck it. If I don't stand up for them, I lose my conscience. And that is what matters to me. Not the seat in parliament and do nothing. And become a part-time MP, taking $60,000. No, that's not what I want. So I believe some of you are here trying to spread the message. Talk to people nicely. Convince them the issue is more than banning or not banning. Get their understanding, the sympathy, the empathy. And influence them. Change your mind. Look at things in a more holistic way. The better solution. There are better solutions out there. I'm not the smartest people in Singapore, definitely. In fact, one of the IT guys told me, you can actually control the speed of the PMD by using your handphone. How? This is for the long term. He said, you can set a device on the PMD, connect your smartphone through Bluetooth. And when you use the PMD, if it's connected, then you can go according to the speed limit set. And with the app inside your smartphone, it can actually control the speed. If you are on this route, this power is supposed to be 5 kilometers per hour. You cannot go more than 5 kilometers per hour. The mapping, the zoning, it can be done. These are the creative, innovative solutions that people provided me. I don't want to take any credit. I can tell you straight, these are for the normal people on the street. Right? And what happens if you don't connect to your smartphone, then your PMD can only go at the max 5 kilometers per hour. I think it's fair. If you connect to it, then when you are above 8 kilometers per hour, then you can go, but you cannot go faster than that. It's controlled by the apps. This is what we call the Internet of Things. PAP have talked big about AI and all that Internet of Things, but they do not really have any idea how to make use of it. But Singaporeans are very smart. Immediately they come up with a solution to me. This is what we can do in the long run. If you regulate every importers, it's just like what we did with our cars. All the cars must have what? The ERP, the EZP card reader. You can do that for the PMDs. Install a device that you connect to your handphone, control the speed by the app. Then you have no issue of speeding at all. It is whether about PAP government willing to listen and to take feedback. Innovative, creative solutions are all out there. You just have to have the political will to say, yes, we are going to do it. And lift the ban. Because life are at stake, rights are at stake. And that is politics. So don't blame me for politicizing it. Thank you. I think while we will have a feedback session, if you have any question or anything you want to raise, you can come forward and raise it. But no speech, you're not supposed to give speech. But you can raise questions. Right? I give back to the MC. Hello, shut up.
Okay, so right now we're here for the Q&A. So anyone got any questions that they want to raise or anything, you can come up to the front. Anybody? Bro, relax, chill. So anyone got any questions that they want to raise regarding the issue? Or anyone who is like die anti-PMD who wants to raise their concerns, please come in front and talk to us lah. Okay, since there's no questions, so okay, there is a question. Yes.
We are all Singaporeans. The government authority should resolve this as graciously as possible. Because at the end of the day, we are all Singaporeans, we are all brothers and sisters. You know, we work with each other, our brothers and sisters bring our food to our offices, we see them every day, they are our neighbors, you know, some of them are our next of kins, friends, relatives. As graciously as we can, we should sanda, share ni. Terima kasih adik-beradik. Wait. As best as we can, we should solve this issue as graciously as possible. Because at the end of the day, we're all Singaporeans. We're all brothers and sisters.
What about the PMD
It's
haters?
really, really heartening that today's session has been very smooth, has been very good. And to all our brothers and sisters here, Xiaomei, Lao Da, 真的谢谢你. We should resolve this issue as graciously as we can, as smoothly as we can, as one family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. Share ni. Thank you so much. It's Casey Bahadur from the Singapore Writers. Singapore Writers, thank you so much. We are all Singaporeans. We should resolve this issue because every one of us goes through financial problems. Every one of us goes through financial issues. Some of us, we lose our jobs, our neighbors. Some of us, we get retrenched. And the same with our brothers and sisters. We should resolve this issue as graciously as one family. We work together. Our brothers and sisters here, PMD riders, I've spoken to Sir here. They should be given a plate number, a license plate number. Speed limit should be controlled. LTA, the Land Transport Authority, should control the speed limit, issue them a license plate number because it's their job, it's their rice bowl, and you cannot break their rice bowl. You cannot. Likewise, if someone takes away your job or fires you, you would feel hurt. And the same here. At the end of the day, if we actually look at the scene, it's not the PMD riders who have caused a lot. That's all. Okay, thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, bang, you were saying?
Okay, about regarding like what you said just now, right? We as Singaporean, brothers and sisters.
Okay. Like just now what the gentleman said, we Singaporean brothers and sisters, we treat each other as brothers and sisters, right? Okay, we think we PM riders are be positive. Okay, we do make mistake. Okay, but to the PMD haters, they feel the same way like us or not. Okay, that one thing, about the band. Just now I come late, I don't know whether the sir talk about this matter, about the PMD, why being banned? Because of the lady, the old lady is sick. She dies. Okay, rest in peace. She's old. But she take bicycle. Why instead take bicycle? Why not take the three wheel? Okay, I control. Okay, now okay, that one thing, because of that, ban. Okay, now I ask the PMD haters. Never mind, I shout, people all know. Then what about the yesterday case? The pedestrian, the car hit and died. And what about that? Huh?
Cannot say your video is good.
What to ban the car?
Cannot say.
Ban lah!
You say our video people.
Next year, PMD general election will coming, 70,000 PMD riders. Okay.
Okay, abang, I get. I understand your concern.
One more thing. I got one more issue. This one very seriously. I purchased my PMD on the 21st October. No. The one before then, you know. Before then, I go straight away to LTA register. PMD, listen.
Is it for everybody?
Listen, after I register to GrabFood, I think I'll complete already.
Because mine is
Took
still
1 week to process the GrabFood. Okay? 1st November, I walk in, register. 1 week process, they're successful. That's the procedure. After that, on the 4th,
yes.
they said on the 5th start, what's the name? Lampinyi dah.
okay.
Lampau! Kami nawe! Hey! I bought that PMD, Hey, use my own money, you know. I purchased by installment, you know. Monthly, I had to pay $110. 12 months, you know. No, how to settle? No, I
I take video.
Wait. Let me, look. I got my freedom of speech to speak, right?
Because you're not registered.
I know. This one I expressed. There were